Hi, my name is Carla with Classic Pianos. Thank you for joining me today as we talk about whether the CSP Digital Piano is an appropriate instrument for student learners. A lot of teachers are purists and they prefer an acoustic piano when teaching students how to play the piano. I myself am a purist too, and I've taught students on acoustic pianos for years. In fact, there was a time when I wouldn't even accept a student if they had a digital piano. But digital pianos have come a long way, so much so that there is a movement now that is inviting children to own digital pianos in addition to acoustics, and sometimes maybe even instead of an acoustic. The CSP Digital Piano is, in my opinion, as a teacher and a performer and a learner, very appropriate for student learners. And there are a lot of features on here that really help the student learn, help them engage, and help increase the seat time. The seat time would be how much time they're spending in their seat playing the piano, how much time they're sitting here, engaging with the music, exploring it, studying it, working with it. All of that time is very valuable and very good for them to increase their understanding of music, their appreciation for music. And of course, as we know, music is shown to increase so many other higher functions in your brain, and children who study music and spend a lot of time in that piano seat do better overall in school. A few of the features I want to mention, I will mention only briefly, but there are some other videos that I've made under the Yamaha CSP Student, and I encourage you to explore those to learn a little bit more about how this piano can actually be a very, very useful tool for students. First of all, this is very similar to a grand piano in many ways. A lot of digital pianos in the past have only been a digital sound with some keys that corresponded to the sounds that we're familiar with. Now, we actually added some weight to our keys. We can actually change the touch sensitivity of them, closely mimicking that of an acoustic piano if we need to. We can change the resonance of the piano sound. That's only something that's happening on a grand piano or an acoustic piano like that. We can change how the voice is sounding on the piano, whether it's very bright or very mellow. Again, not something that's usually done on a digital piano. But this piano here, the CSP by Yamaha, gives you that feeling of a real acoustic piano, even more so of a grand piano. And so you're not going to lose a lot of the sound and the touch and the feel as much as you'd think. Also, there are options here of different voices you can use. So even though the children are learning the piano, I do encourage them to use different instruments when playing their piano music, because what we're teaching them is how to read music and how to be disciplined and sit there and follow the notes and practice, and how to be part of a larger worldwide music community. And all of these instruments provide that interest level, increasing that seat time. There are over 700 instruments that the students can play with and explore. There are also styles, and I talk about that in another video as well, and how the CSP student can use styles as a metronome, making metronome practice time so much more engaging, so much more fulfilling, and so much more fun. And the students will want to come to the piano. You won't have to beg them to go because it'll be fun for them. And then of course we have songs that they can play and all the lessons that they can be doing and be guided in doing. So this piano, in my opinion, is very suitable for student learners. Now, if there comes a time that the student is getting to a level where they're doing competitions and they're performing on large grand pianos and the action doesn't quite come as close to that of a grand piano, it is acceptable to move them into an acoustic piano or even a grand piano. That would be something that, of course, would be many a student's dream. And that would be a good thing. But I always tell parents, if you're going to move into a grand piano or an acoustic piano, don't get rid of the CSP. It's never a bad thing to have more than one piano. This piano has served many purposes for many students, and it will continue to do so. And for many, it is their primary piano. And for some, it is a secondary piano, but also still very acceptable. In fact, more than acceptable. And if you choose to move up to the higher valued piano with the wooden keys and the larger speakers, you'll have an even better chance of coming close to that acoustic and grand piano sound and feel. And I'll talk more about that in another video as well. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Now go make some music.